Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my show, Crypto Express, a channel that's dedicated to you, to helping you be prepared for this bull run, to be informed and learn everything you need to know about crypto that honestly most crypto influencers don't really share. Crypto Casey does, but there's a lot of gaps, right? So as we go into this bull run, I am getting ready. I know I keep saying it, but it just takes a lot behind the scenes to get things ready. To be here for you full time this bull run, where you can ask any question. I'm going to start doing live AMAs once a week. I may do them every day. It just comes down to preparing. So I can answer your questions on anything you need to know about the crypto market. But without further ado, let's get started. In today's video, we're going to address top theories, top mentalities, opinions that you're going to be hearing. And I'm sure you've heard in the crypto market, like, oh, you need to buy the tokens that bounce back faster. And I know I've said that before, but there's a whole picture to that needs to be considered. So in today's video, I'm going to do my best to explain both sides of the coin to every major argument that is out there right now on how you should be preparing for this bull run. But first off, let's just take a look. We have 3 days and 17 hours before the bull run. I feel a huge sense of urgency, but at the same time, a huge sense of peace. Why? Because this brings me to the first point, which is that in as much as we read here, right, it says, and you may have heard this tweet requoted across several different YouTube channels, or you may have even followed Dan Crypto Trades on Twitter, X. But, so he says, study coins that reverse the fastest, or basically those that bounce back the fastest, right? He says, those are the ones that often tend, right, to outperform the foreseeable future. There are a few coins in the top 100 that were able to retrace most of the dump already. So this is interesting because it's true. And this is one side of the coin, right? We should study the coins that bounce back the fastest. But oftentimes, and I'm just completing the picture for you, okay? I'm not trying to convince you to do one thing or another, but I'm just letting you know that oftentimes there is a correlation or relationship between the tokens that bounce back the fastest with the size of their community and how involved they are and how good of a job the founders and the leaders of that project are curating and managing their community. So sometimes you can have great community leaders and they create a sense of family, right? And so that's wonderful. Now everyone binds together and it creates this tribe. But does that necessarily mean that the project is fantastic? No. Does that mean that the technology is the best and is going to last the longest? No, it doesn't. Right? Does it mean that, what often that means, let me just get to that, is that it has a really close knit community, which is awesome, but it's not necessarily an indicator of how well it's going to do in the long run, or of its technology fundamentally, or that another project or crypto company can't come in and disrupt them and be better than them, right? I'm just trying to explain to you what it means. And oftentimes, what it does mean is that it's not fully diluted, meaning it still has, there are still many more tokens that are going to come into the market based off of its emissions or distribution schedule that are built into its token economics, right? How many new tokens come into circulation every month. So there's a lot of room. There are many more tokens that still need to be brought into the market. Then oftentimes the community, especially if it's a slightly older or more experienced community, they're not all newbies. Oftentimes they know that. And so they're excited because projects that still have many more tokens to come to market often represent the largest opportunity for that project to skyrocket in value, right? So just think about it. And many times there's fantastic projects like Celestia that have most of its tokens already in circulation. So it doesn't represent the largest opportunity for gains. But oftentimes these projects, and this is why I'm going to tell you to go do your own research, go check them out on CoinGecko. Actually, go to this website. I'm jumping ahead 2 tabs. So go check out token.unlocks.app. You can type in the project and it will tell you how many more unlocks it has to go. So that's my thought on this, is just keep in mind that there's more to just aping in and buying a project, like a token, simply because you go to crypto, banter bubbles and you see that, oh, it's, in the last week, let's take a look at like Near, right? This is a great AI project. Like, just because, like, for instance, if we looked at this dip over here on April 14th, just because it dipped so fast and it went back up, doesn't mean it's not an indicator necessarily of why you should want to invest in it. I know I keep going on about it, but it's very important to think about it. It just so happens that Near is a good project, right? But there's other criteria you need to take into consideration before you buy it. If this is, and there would be 2 buckets, I would say. There are your blue chip long-term holds. We're going to look at an Excel spreadsheet, or I'll just show you right now. I know I'm jumping around. But there's this barbell approach. And this is by Kyle Chassé, my partner. And no, I don't just talk about him because he's my partner, but because he's brilliant and he works so hard to bring so much value to the crypto market. And anyway, his team put this Excel spreadsheet together. I'll link it below. But you would have your blue chips, as you can see on the left-hand side here. And this would be like your Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, Phantom, TON, Telegram's token that I told you I just bought like 3 days ago. I bought the dip. Link, an Oracle, very important Oracle. Ondo, the tokenization of financial assets platform. Based AI, oh my gosh, it's like the new Tensor, but with AI. Amazing. Peppercoin, the original OG Peppercoin that's linked to Based AI. And if you go stake your Peppercoin, you'll get airdropped Based AI. I haven't even got to see how many I have, but that's not why I'm telling you about this. I'm just telling you, like, these projects have been vetted. To be vetted in English means that, like, we've gone down the checklist and we've checked team, great founders. They have proper reputations, they have proper education, they have a track record, they've brought these many projects to market, or something about the leader that tells us we can be confident in them, right? Because we're putting our money behind them. We have to believe in the leaders. The technology, does it have a GitHub that's the repository for, its code, and it's transparent, or should be anyway. You can go see and read about the project. Does it have a white paper? Read it, like, was it, faked? Did someone just go to ChatGPT and just copy a white paper from someone else? Run it through ChatGPT. If you don't know what that is, I'll show you in a second. Or here, I don't have it on this account, but here, I'll show you anyway. It's an AI tool. You can go here and you can download it. Don't click on the sponsored one. It's the best way to get phishing attacked. So ChatGPT, oh, I do have it here. You can ask it any question, Anyway, you can go here, copy and paste the white paper in here and tell them, was this forged? Does this belong to any other project? Like, do your own research. But anyway, all of this to say that, back to the tweet I was sharing with you, like, no, you don't just buy the project that dipped the hardest and bounced back the fastest. Yes, that's one of the top indicators to look at. But what else is going on about this project that would make you want to invest in it? And one of the most important questions to ask in this checklist is, what is your investment strategy? I made a video on this like 3 weeks ago or 2 weeks ago, talking about, are you in this, like, are you a high risk investor? Are you looking for quick gains, potentially losses? Like when you're high risk, you have to be prepared. Like if you make 10 investments, you have to be prepared to pretty much lose 9 of them and be okay with one of them popping off. If you can make your peace with that, as Ivan on Tech says, have your big boy pants on or your big girl pants on, then go for it. That makes you a high risk investor. And that's one of the most important questions to ask yourself when you make a decision to invest into a project. Are you willing to gamble for high returns? And you can make a lot of money, like change your life money, like enough money, like the equivalent of, a whole year's salary or more with the high risk investment strategy. But you may also end up crying because this is your hard-earned money and you lost it. But you just need one. That said, you just need 1 out of 10 high-risk investments that you make to take off, to make up for everything you lose and make you like a ton of money. That's high risk. But if you have this honest conversation with yourself, which we're still in time to have, and you think to yourself, no, I don't want to lose any money. Well, first off, crypto is very volatile in general, so it may not be the industry for you. But can you make life-changing money here? Yes, you can. Have I? Yes. I pretty much coasted, which means, I just kind of like I coasted these last 2 years. It was almost 2 years of bear market based off of my gains from the last bull market. And that's because I was like a total newbie and I didn't know what I was doing. I was just working and just making tons of just investing and collecting all these tokens that I should have sold in top of the market, and I didn't, so that's why I'm here to try to share what I learned with you and translate what everyone else is saying. Not everything that I'm saying here is so original to me. I'm connecting the dots between my venture studio background, my personal investor experience as a newbie, and now as like pretty much an intermediate, or like I guess now you'd kind of consider me an OG in crypto. Time flies. And I've been through a bull and a bear market, and now I'm going into a bull again. And I actually entered into the bear market before the previous bull market. So those are 4 cycles in total. But anyway, all of that said, these are things to consider. But if you want to be as conservative as possible in crypto, then do not be looking at the meme coins. You can make a ton of money, especially if you follow this channel. I will tell you of the latest meme coins, and I have a new one for you today. So let's keep moving. But if you do want to be as conservative as possible, I'd have you look into the blue chips. Because the blue chips are everything that I just read off to you off this list. And these are going to be the ones that you don't care so much, not so much, if they have, a high or low, fully diluted valuation. Why? Because these are gold. They're not quite Bitcoin, but they're extreme fundamental building blocks to the crypto market and to the future world. Merging old world we call Web 2 and new world Web 3, or vice versa. I got my hands confused. If these projects are here to change the world, and they won that first mover, completely disruptive position, as everything you see on the list here. So you're welcome, and I'll link this below. And you don't want to gamble, and you don't want to be stressed out, and you want to sleep this bull run, then just invest in the blue chips. And you don't care if they go up or down a little bit. You just know that they're here to stay, and it's like investing in the future Microsofts or Facebooks of the world. Okay. But that said, when the market is at its peak, which I will be reporting to you daily, I'm going to be doing 2 videos a day. I'm just getting ready right now, and live shows for you. And I have a team for you. Then yes, you do want to take some money off the table, definitely to pay yourself back. But also just like, because you should always pay yourself for your hard work. Always. It's just healthy and it's the right thing to do, and it keeps you motivated. Anyway, so that's the first theory I wanted to address. The next one is basically this, right? Like, so we know that, and this is from a few days ago already, 2 days ago, there were $936 million liquidated across the entire crypto market in the past 24 hours at the time of this tweet. And this was terrifying to most people. But once again, we have to ask ourselves, what does this mean? We are pawns, unfortunately, I hate to say it this way, to macroeconomics and global politics, because the war, and remember, war is always, it's such a business globally. It's so sad. It is, because during times of war, they sell war equipment and they sell war supplies. And usually, historically, if you go watch documentaries, let me know if you want to see some of these. I can lead you on to some really great YouTube content creators that make, do deep research, and they present their theories in a really organized way, but like in documentary style. So much research out there that would show that oftentimes, unfortunately, during the time of war, there's always some business going on behind the scenes, and it's just traditionally markets dip, they go down, but then they always pump. Like, traditionally, wars are good for the markets. It's so sad. But that said, as we read this tweet, I don't want to try to interpret it too much for you. So really, it's just an indicator that we're all pawns in this huge ocean of whales that control the world banks, and they're upset about Bitcoin coming in and disrupting them, right? That is what Bitcoin does. It takes the power away from the richest entities on this planet, because no one owns Bitcoin. Like the system, the currency itself, no one owns it, no one controls it, no one can ever print more. It's the new gold. It's digital, it's programmed, and it was released into the ethers, and no one can change it. All we can do is buy it. That's it. Mine it. That's it. Build a mining farm. I've thought of, but it'd be very expensive, but with renewable energies, who knows? I am entitled to land in Bolivia. Let me know if you want to do a project together down there. Anyway, I have my vision of what I want to do. I want to bring together the top innovators of the world together and have us innovate together and build underground communities, because I believe it only makes sense. We're subject to tsunamis, earthquakes, bombs. There's something behind a bomb shelter, it's underground. No one can get you. So anyway, I have my theories of what I want to build. That's why I'm here, to make as much money as possible, because I want to kick it off. Anyway, so that's what this, is really an indicator of. And this is why I would just tell you to be very, very, very careful in trading anything more. Like, do not put longs in, don't over leverage yourself. Don't do that with any money that you do not want to say bye-bye to for the rest of your life, because with institutional money coming into Bitcoin, buying it up every single day in the millions, like, let that sink in for a second, in the millions of dollars every day. What do you think the gains are going to be like this bull run? If every time the market is down, whales or extremely rich people or nation states or the US government, if every time the market is down, it represents a buying opportunity, then how many dips can we foresee coming? Just think about it. Many. So that's sad. That is what is really behind this tweet to me. And then this brings me to the next tweet, right? Someone says, if you've been sidelined, which means like if you were like you didn't see this coming, yeah? Believe this is a good opportunity to scale into high conviction tokens. So once again, this is a recommendation, and you may have heard this out there, right? But I let's just finish the tweet, right? So it says, if you're fully invested, just survive. Hold your spot positions and do not capitulate, do not sell. Someone once said, liquidations are forced transfer of wealth. Think about it. From traders who need leverage, who need the liquidity, right, to wealthy spot buyers. I was enjoying retirement from social media, but don't want to see my brothers get shaken out when the future is still so bright. So this is, I appreciate the level-headedness and the perspective. And this is good advice, I think, for anyone who's very new in crypto and doesn't know what new tokens to buy. Like if you are not in the know-how, if you are not part of my Telegram community, or you are not following like my partner Kyle Schuss's channel or Rand Neuner, Crypto Banter's channel, just because he pretty much can move markets, or if you're not following Alex Becker and you're not in like, if you can afford to pay to be in alpha groups, I don't charge right now. I am going to be working on a book, so let me know if you're interested, that outlines in a very easy, simple to understand way how to get started in crypto. Like if you are not in the know-how of what is new and you don't catch it, you don't have a way of knowing and a system set up to catch new deals, boom, boom, boom. Like there is a tool you can use called Kaito, K-A-I-T-O. Kaito. Let's go look it up for you. There is a tool called Kaito that you should go check out. It is a little expensive. I think it's like $500 a month, or maybe it's cheaper. Okay, yeah, so you'd have to go there. But anyway, there's this tool, and then there's also, I'll link it below. I don't have an affiliate link, I don't think. No, I don't. And there's also one called Bird Eye. And these tools, if you're not in the know-how and you are serious about making money, which I hope you are if you're here, this is change your life kind of money. This is what's coming this year. If you don't have, you know, extreme connections, which you can consider me an extreme connection, and then I would suggest you go get this tool, Bird Eye. Get at least this one or Kaito, because it shows you where the money is moving. How many people are into Sui? Who moved money from Solana to Based, you know, Based Network, or like, it shows you where smart money and whales are moving their money, and this is always an indicator of where you should move your money to. But that said, you can't go to sleep or get an assistant to help track it for you while you're sleeping, something like that, because, which brings me back to my point. Once again, if you are not in the know-how and you do not, like, you have to be religiously following me, Kyle Chasse, Crypto Banter. Like, following one influencer is not enough. I would say follow Alex Becker, Kyle Chasse, my partner, Crypto Banter, and follow me. Follow us. If you can follow us, between all of us, like, you have the formula, right? Alex Becker is like gaming and a lot of like investor mentality and top plays, right? Because he already made his money. So he is looking for smart plays. And only putting his name because he has a big community, which means he cares about his reputation. He's only going to put his money behind really, really good projects. Same thing for Kyle Chasse, my partner. He's a builder. Oh my gosh, he has a reputation. You know, he's building real, innovative, disruptive technology. That said, I want to show you another project. I keep talking about it, but Commonwealth. Let's join Commonwealth. I did the branding once again, which is not why I'm telling you about it. Oh my gosh, even if I hadn't, I would feel so honored to be in on it. And honestly, you don't even have to take my word for it. Like, just go look at who it's been so slow, sorry. Just go look at where the deal flow is coming from. This is probably your best bet, because this project, Join Commonwealth, has deal flow coming in from the top VCs and funds in the crypto market. And that's the way crypto tokens move through the crypto world market. It's created, well, okay, there's two, let me just back up for a second. There are the VCs and the funds that have first dips. They have the first opportunity to invest into top crypto projects, because think about it. When a new crypto project is like new to the crypto world, what are they going to do? They're going to go look for money. Where do they go to get the money? They go to the top VCs and funds in the crypto market to ask for this money, which means these top VCs and funds now hold big positions for a huge discount on these projects. So they then partner with marketing agencies and KOLs, or influencers. Hopefully I'll be big enough to get allocations soon. And I will share these, as I've told you in previous videos. I will share 50% of my allocations with my community, but you have to share the word, and these are part of the campaigns that I'm rolling out. Just pray for me if you pray at all, or send me good energy, because it's a big, big, big undertaking that I'm doing, and I'm doing it for you. I'm going to translate this into Spanish and as many languages as I can as well. But that said, so it's really through the VCs and the funds that we eventually get to know about the top crypto projects. Because what do the influencers do? Right? They go to share it on YouTube and on Twitter. And then all us, the little people, the minnows, we go and we're like, oh, let's go buy this token. But by the time we hear about it, it's like we are late. We are so late. And oftentimes we are their exit liquidity. When we come rushing in because there's a big idea and we're all excited, guess what? They're excited too. They get to sell on us because they know it's going to pump. These are things to think about, and this is why I wanted to make this video for you. But what's very, very exciting, and this is why I was sharing Peppercoin with you guys a minute ago, this one, is because I was telling you, remember, there's two ways crypto projects come to the market. There's through this way, where crypto projects go and they get incubated or they get funding from the top VCs and funds, right? And then it trickles down to us through KOLs, and then to YouTube, and then it gets to little people, right? And then pump, dump. We were dumped on. There's also this school of thought over here, or this movement, where it's the OGs. Oftentimes, these are like the original Bitcoin maximalists that got into Bitcoin in 2012, 2013, 2011. And they build projects all on their own. They don't need funding because they're very, very wealthy. They don't care to be known. A lot of times they're anonymous. And they just create beautiful projects. And then they just bring them to market. Those are the ones you really want to invest in, because they don't have any top stakeholders that are incentivized to sell the token. And that would be one of these great opportunities is Peppercoin. This is why I believe the peppening, I've made a whole video on this, I'd recommend you go watch it, is going to do so, so great. It's going to do so, so huge, both in the short term and the long term, because of what it is, and because it's linked to based AI, and because it's independent. It doesn't have, all these VCs and funds there to sell on them. So anyway, this is this whole strategy. I know I went on a bit of a tangent for you. This guy just validates the same thing that I said a minute ago, or this, the previous guy was talking about, which is that market flushes are the perfect time to reallocate from poor performing assets into higher quality, faster horses. This is correct. This is correct. But yeah, I would say that's what you do, right? So when there's a market flush, move your assets to protect yourself, unless you have good reason to believe that the meme coin you're holding, it's going to pump. and not just because you love it. Make sure there's more to it, okay? Make sure it's a universal meme. Make sure that it has some really, really, really big promoter, like Doge with Elon. You know, Doge is going to be used on Twitter X, I believe. And we know that Twitter X is probably going to become a super app. I'm not the first person to say it, but I think I'm one of the first people to have thought it. It just makes sense because it's a race for data. And right now there's a race. Elon is suing OpenAI, right? And we know that, yeah, it's a whole conversation. We can talk about it later. But basically, AI companies are like the future countries of the world, superpowers, because they mine our data. So be careful who you go give your data to. Anyway, it's a whole conversation. Let's keep moving. Yeah, and then this is just a reminder. It's so sad, but just remember that every time there's another pandemic, God, like, just I hope there isn't. But there's theories that there are more pandemics coming, which is why if you're in the US, I'd recommend you try to leave. Or try to move to like a Native American, you know, sovereign land, like try to do that. Or go to Mexico or go to Canada. Canada's not better, unfortunately. Go to Mexico. There's a great YouTube channel called, I think he was censored, but he took off. I live in Thailand, guys, and this is my backup account. Vililante, is this it? This guy. Go check him out. He covers, this is a good reminder for me. I don't follow him on this account, but he covered COVID the whole, you know, this last whole pandemic. And him and his family moved to Mexico. And you would think Mexico is so dangerous. And I spent a lot of time in Mexico. I'm not Mexican, no. But I used to do a lot of missions work, actually, when I was younger. And we lived on the border with Mexico. My parents worked a lot there and helped a lot. So anyway, him and his wife, they left. You know, there's whole communities all over the world, like here in Thailand too. Look into Thailand. You'll never see Thailand in war. It's great. Look into other countries if you can, you know. Make your money in crypto and get out, because seriously, I took my family out. Some of them went back, but I'm ready to pull them out if I have to. Anyway, go check him out. He covers everything that I'm talking to you about in great detail. He's like his own type of reporter. I'm not going to get into it anymore, but go check him out. Very, very good source of information. Very real, deep research, and a lot of like personal like investigation he does on what's going on. But that said, this brings me to what I'm telling you about, is that, you know, every time there's a crisis, a war, oh my God, you know, here it says, you know, BTC was down 10% immediately at the outbreak of the Iran-Israel war. You know, and it looks similar to the whole Russia-Ukraine war chart, which also was down 10% as soon as it happened, and then recovery happened within a few days. So remember, it's always this grand scheme of like chess. And that's why I'm telling you, unfortunately, we are the pawns, right? And here's more proof. Vietnam War, Gulf War, Iraq War, Crimea crisis. It's awful, guys, but I just really want to remind you that it is not a time to be afraid, that the big people in crypto use these crises and dip correction opportunities to buy more. So do not be shaken out of your Bitcoin, your Solana, your Ethereum, you know, your base. Like, just don't do it. Just don't do it. Your Peppercoin, like, have conviction, okay? Just please. Or honestly, this is not the industry for you, because it requires you to level up and step up to a new level of responsibility for your finances, and you can do it. Trust me, it was scary for me too, but I did it, and I'm so happy I did, you know? It's like, I would not be in the position that I am now at all. I've been able to help my family. I was able to help my dad through his whole like cancer journey. I got him like custom care in his home with doctors and nurses and peptides and everything. And I brought him here to Thailand. Like, do you think I would have been able to do that without crypto? No. You know? Like, it is life-changing money, and with the times that are coming, you have to be in a financially strong position. Man, it gets me upset. And this, we're going to end it with this because we're going to keep going and going and going, and it's getting very, very long. I'm just going to show you, yeah, basically this chart, you know, it's like, nobody be worried. This is what the first halving chart looked like, second, third, and we are entering, you know, we're going into the fourth. So no one be worried. It's just normal, guys. And, okay, almost the last bit of news. China's, you know, application for Bitcoin and Ethereum ETFs were approved by Hong Kong Securities. So this is huge bullish news. Like, the race is on behind the scenes of this whole like global and market like fiasco. There's a lot going on behind the scenes. That's all you need to know. So just hold your position and do not sell. And just so you're aware, these are the top narratives in crypto. And I would just say, this kind of connects to a point I made earlier. Like, remember to keep some USDT, some Solana, some Bitcoin, and some Ethereum on the side. Do not deploy everything. Because remember, the bull run is gonna be a little long. It's like a good year. Okay, I'm not a fortune teller, but more or less. And you want to be ready to buy, because there are going to be more golden opportunities. There just are. This is not my first rodeo, as they say. There are. So you need to be ready to buy. So only have your money in the positions right now that you are 100% confident in. If you're not, don't feel bad. Go cash out. Get the money. Put it in your little like account, wallet, ready to buy the next opportunity, or roll it into Bitcoin, or roll it into Ethereum, or roll it into USDT. It's not called selling. It's called moving, you know, trading between positions. And the most important thing to know is what you're going to invest in. That is what's important right now. It's not to be over allocated, but it's to know your strategy. So look at this list and decide like which ones can you keep up with, because that's the underlining question. If you can keep up with the news, the top influencer that brings you the news, it's probably me for like memes, good memes, not garbage memes. I'm sorry, I'm not going to be that person for you. Ethereum, no, Bitcoin news, and AI. I would say AI. I'm going to bring you the most cutting edge blue chips. That's what I can tell you. I'm not following the garbage. You can go follow other people for that. But decide, you know, like what you're going to invest and what you can keep up with and what your strategy is to keep up with it. And if you can't do it, then don't invest in it, because you're going to lose and you're going to be crying. And this is Kyle's tweet on the barbell strategy that I showed you a minute ago. And this is his strategy. This is my strategy. This is many people who are middle of the road strategy. You know, you're not all high risk and you're not only conservative with blue chips. You want a little bit of both. This is the strategy, as I was telling you earlier. And we're going to end it here because there's, man, it's been a long video, but I had to bring this to you. But that's sad. I hope you gained value. I hope it was clear. If it wasn't, please let me know. And I will be back later with a bridging video on how to bridge your assets from one network to another. And more news for you tomorrow. But okay, guys, the time is now. I hope you get ready. Think about everything I said in this video. Watch it again. Get a piece of paper and a pen. Write things down, like to process and be ready. I don't want anyone going into this bull run in a panic. So wrong energy. The best traders are level-headed. The best investors are level-headed. That's the energy you need to go into it. So once again, if you're not confident in what you're holding, be confident. Go sell what you're not confident in and be ready to redeploy that money into a good investment. But okay, love you guys very much, and I will catch you guys here later. Ciao.